Thank you so much for sharing your vulnerable shares on school about relationships. You're probably wondering, okay, Div, you asked that question like days ago and you haven't responded. I know. So why did I ask that question? For a number of reasons. One was to find out what people's pains are, because I know my pain and thousands of clients I've worked with, but also hopefully to help you. So I want to address a few of the things that you guys talked about on school. Some of you talked about how you felt not seen in your relationship, not acknowledged, not loved, not cherished. Others of you talked about feeling taken advantage of. Others of you talked about feeling like you're in controlling relationships or narcissistic partnerships with like a mother-in-law or somebody. And I hope this video helps even just a little bit. What I try to teach people is that every relationship out here is with a wounded part of us in here. And those of us who have done some traditional therapy or some self-help work, we might have the awareness of that. And if you don't, that's okay too. But we all have wounds. Some that came from our childhood, some that came more from our ancestral lineage, like our cultural lineage, our mothers and fathers. Others that came from traumas in childhood, society, and so on. Some you brought in with you from your past life, if you believe in that. But all of us have crap. And a lot of that crap doesn't want to be seen. And it hides back here. So what the ego does is it hides it so you can't see it. And then it shows up in another person. And the reason that they come into our lives as a mother-in-law, a boss, a coworker, or husbands or wives is because it's about healing something in us. And you may know that. Amazing if you do. And then the thing is, it's about finding that thing in you, which often can be hard because it's like taking a flashlight in a dark room going, where is that little piece? And that's where I use intuition to help. But also, that's only one part. The part that's traditional therapy. The other part that often is not talked about is about seeing yourself and them through the eyes of the divine. So let's just say you have this wounded part of you that was always neglected in your childhood. And for whatever reason, every relationship you enter, you either feel neglected or not chosen. Well, you brought it in with you, either from childhood, past life, or whatever, maybe your ancestry. But your job to have that healthy relationship where you feel chosen is to identify this. But that's only part one. That's traditional therapy. Part two is to begin to see yourself as whole and complete, the way the divine sees you. And that's the harder work. To see the part of you that is the child of God, who is whole, who is love, who is spirit, who is the I am. Because the only reason these eyes of the ego are seeing this in the external world and it's driving you crazy is because that is of the ego in your own mind. So healing a relationship is about healing the mind. It's something I'm so passionate about, partly because I've spent the last 15 years working with clients after clients after clients in relationships. But the big part of it is because I've gotten into crevices of my own mind as I've been healing my own marriage and healing, other relationships in my lives with girlfriends, male friends, and so on. But it's always shown me that it's a hurt part of the ego that wants to be healed. The crazy thing is, when I heal those parts of myself, other areas of my life just open up magically. I'd love to help you. I'd love to be of service. This is something I'm really passionate about. I'm bringing it to the school calls on Mondays, most of them. I'm also bringing it into my social media feed if you don't follow me there. But if you really, really want to take a deep dive, because I can only go to a certain level in school and a certain level on social media, and I want to teach you something else now. This is a quote from Tony Robbins, and from having run spiritual businesses for over 20 years now, I know this to be true. It's an annoying quote, but it's a quote that is so true. And it says, the transformation is the transaction. And I used to fight that quote. I'm like, no, if somebody really wants to get better, if they really want to heal, if they don't have money, we can help them. But what I've discovered is when somebody makes that transaction of finances and times, it's almost like their psyche settles to receive the answer. But if they don't make that transaction, the ego, without even knowing it, puts up a block like, nope. And it's crazy because I've offered all kinds of stuff for free, and I've charged millions of dollars for it. I've done both. And the crazy thing is, the more money I charge, the more clients have the breakthroughs. It blew my mind. It was almost annoying because I have a part of myself that just wants to help the entire world for free. But having seen this in front of these eyes countless times in more than one spiritual business, I can tell you it's true. So again, I can help you in school as much as I can. I can help you in my Instagram feed as much as I can. But if you really, really want to heal this so that the ego moves out of the way, trust me, that quote, the transformation and traction, is so true. So join me. I'm starting a course in May called Wounds to Wisdom. I would love to have you. You apply for it. You put an application form on my website. I'll put the link below here. It's going to be a deep dive. It's going to be 2 months long. We'll meet weekly for 2 hours, small group of 8 people, and we're going to heal this stuff because I don't want to die believing that men controlled me, because that's one of my wounds from childhood, because I don't want to repeat that. So if I always say, if I can do it, you can do it too. So I'd be blessed and honored if you joined me. I hope this little video of this thing even helps you a little bit. And again, if you don't know, I have a webinar series going on this month on relationships. I'll make sure to post that too. I'd love to have you there. I'm sending you so much love, and thank you for watching my video.